Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Roadology. Today's video, we have some more news about Battlefield 6 and the upcoming content coming into, Battlefield, right? The Season 1 content. So, I'm going to get straight to it. We heard some leaks, right? Of course, that we already know that naval warfare is going to be coming into Battlefield 6, right? So, naval warfare, of course, driving boats to, you know, a Navy ship, a Navy warship, and we have to get shot every time we try to get to the point, right? So of course, it's one of the main things that people want in Battlefield. But it's also another thing is that we still need some more things to be in Battlefield. Excuse me, for naval strike to the second naval strike for Battlefield 6 to be well, right? So we already do not have any attack boats, or we do have an attack helicopter. We just don't have attack boats. We have jets and everything. So the main thing is attack boats that we need, right? Because obviously I don't know how they're going to do the map layout for Naval Strike, but if they do it, exactly like BF4 and implement it into a good way, we're obviously going to need attack boats and something that will make us swim, especially since we have the slowest movement in Battlefield 6. And again, I'm going to say what I heard about the movement is that there are no rumors or aggression. The the developers never addressed that they're going to change the movement speed in Battlefield 6. So what can I say about that? BF3 through Hardline. The Hardline was the fastest, BF4 second fastest, and 3, of course, the last fastest, right? So if those movement speeds are up there in par with 2042, I think that the map layout for Naval Strike is going to be a little bit of a compact, kind of like, Operation Firestorm and how they did it, right? Because again, if we're going to have bigger maps, we're going to need faster movement because the movement is too slow. And of course, we have attack. If they do add attack boats, we're going to have attack boats and everything pertaining to having to get to the objective, faster, right? And then if you're an infantry trying to get to the objective, especially to a naval warship, then hey, good luck. Good luck getting to that ship and swimming there every time, especially when boats spawn slow. So my guess is they could make the boats spawn faster if they add boats or helicopters or whatnot. Some people can't fly for nothing like me. And it's just like, how can they do naval strike better than BF4? I don't know if it's possible, but they are able to do good for the naval strike. So next topic, and I'm probably going to get back to naval strike. There's probably more to talk about there, about some maps that I want in naval strike. Battlefield 6 update, right? So there is a confirmation that we're going to get, of course, the season 1 updates, right? Obviously, we're going to have those updates, I guess the plus 200 changes in Battlefield 6. There was an assumption that I made that it was going to be in season 1. All the 200 plus changes was going to be in the season 1 content. But now, like, I have mixed feelings. I think it's going to be like throughout the season 1, because some of those updates are very big for Battlefield 6. But I think some updates can be in the October 28th of the release of the season 1 content. The season 1 content again comes out on the 28th of October, and I think it can't really come fast enough. I do want it to come really quick because there's a lot of bugs in Battlefield 6. But again, there's going to be minor backhand improvements, stability enhancements, and a lot of things that a lot of people is advocating to be changed, fixed for Battlefield 6, right? And to make the game more playable. I haven't. I heard, of course, that the visibility was going to be better for the game. It was going to be, you know, no more blinding lights like what I just seen in the background. It was going to be more visible, you know, more able to see your enemy on the screen or your teammates, whatnot. My thing is if they ever make the visibility better or try to tone down the visibility, like they said they were, I guess. I want the visibility, just like the rest of the people and that Reddit upvote, is that I really like the BF4 lighting, right? The BF4 lighting. My thing with the BF4 lighting is, of course, I was going to advocate for hardline. I did say that I want hardline type of color design, right? Because you can make it dark and you can make it colorful, and especially we're in New York and all the in Hollywood, LA, and we're all in these buildings and stuff, and it don't really necessarily look colorful like how it should be. I don't know if some people will understand what I mean, right? Because it looks very bland in these buildings, but you can see in the background it's a lot of color that can be like vibrant, in certain situations, in how they make the visibility or the lighting in Battlefield. So my thing about the lighting is BF3. Um, I actually play a little bit of BF3. BF3's lighting isn't really on my part of the best lighting in Battlefield. I don't even think it's like top five. It's probably like, I'll say it's like the seventh place in my opinion. Maybe because I just remember the blue. So my thing is, I think they should actually have either BF4's lighting, excuse me, or BF Hardline's lighting. So BF Hardline is kind of like 2042 again. BF BF Hardline is kind of like 2042. They kind of have the same color design, or what you call it. What I'm trying to think. Man, I can't even think of the what I was trying to say. I said in the stream. Um, Art design, right. Graphics design, art design. They kind of have similar taste to each other, but it looks like Hardline is more of the of aftermath, of course, of BF4. BF4 already has that good lighting, and it's just only a matter of preference. My preference can be either or BF Hardline or BF4, but BF4 for the more colorful sense, and again, the way we're in these type of buildings, and you can also see how vibrant the buildings can be. So that is a visibility opinion for me. I know everybody else have different opinions, and of course the upvote for Reddit was the main opinion for BF4 to have that, the type of lighting, and not necessarily the bland lighting. I don't even know what Battlefield had this type of lighting. It's probably similar to, maybe, I'll say BF4. I mean, no. BF5, I mean. BF1 kind of had like that similar type of dark effect, but it also has some color to it. BF5 looked, it was kind of bland a little bit. Maybe had that same light in there. I don't really remember too much of BF5. I did play a little bit, um, just not in my head about how good the visibility was in BF5. So there's a lot of things coming forward for Battlefield 6. I want to go back to naval warfare and suggest my maps, right? And I still want to suggest, more maps. And since I'm speaking about hardline and we're already in LA and New York, which was, and well, I don't know, do they have Miami maps in BF6? Well, Miami, LA, and New York, I think, was in hardline the most, right? So again, I might be wrong. It's just my opinion. But Hardline, of course, was the main game that had these type of maps in the background in BF6. They had New York, they had Miami, they had LA maps. We just need the visibility and the color. So I'm going to again suggest some of my maps that I want, and I'm going to suggest BF4 maps as well. So I think Of course, the Sunken Dragon is not related to naval warfare. There's Naval Strike DLC, but it's still kind of similar. You still gotta swim to, you know, a sunken ship, a sunken dragon ship, and everything. And of course, bring all four of those Naval Strike maps. They are very good, but it's just, again, we still don't know how we'll be able to like get to the boats and to different objectives when you're swimming, because obviously Naval Strike, of course, is what, swimming to the objective and using boats to the objective, helicopter jets and whatnot, right? And my main thing is, the recap is that we need either faster movement, or they're just going to make more boats spawn, or they're just going to make the map layout short, just like Operation Firestorm. That's the only three options you can do for Battlefield 6 at the moment, since we have the slowest movement in the game. So more maps that I want to see is Hollywood Heights, you know, all the good LA maps, Hollywood Heights, shoot, downtown, I guess. Heard that was coming back anyway. You know, just a lot of different maps that pertains to that actual like setting Battlefield 6 is in. It looks like it looks like Battlefield 6 is in that, you know, colorful map stage, right? Colorful map of BF6, right? So yeah, that is all I'm gonna say for this video. It was just like a short, not really a rant, just like an idea of, you know, how Battlefield in this current state is right now, and a lot of stuff's going to be fixed, and you know, it's just it was just there. And yeah, again, I'm going to speak on one more thing that I almost forgot, right? It was also stated that DICE had no plans to change the movement speed. So I did forget to address that. So those two options that I said, either make more boats or more spawns and vehicles, or make the map layout less, right? It's just only adjustments to make small enough improvements for, you know, rough case scenarios, right? And mostly animation and not related to the core physics, like the slide and, you know, the jump in, the optical sway and all that, right? Because of course those physics take a long time to implement, because they are core mechanics, right? And however many times it messes up, it's going to mess up the mouse input and whatnot, because, you know, it's just like relatable to what you're doing in the game, right? So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say for this video. Hopefully the clunkiness will be removed, like it was, you know, hopefully it was actually stated, and hopefully the game will, you know, run better in optimization. I haven't heard too much about the optimization in the final forms of the game, right? So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Hope you like, share, and subscribe. I will be streaming Battlefield 6 on Twitch, Kick, YouTube. Be sure to check it out. Twitch drops are enabled. I don't know how long they're going to be, but still, if they're still enabled by the time of this recording, be sure to drop in, collect rewards, watch a certain amount of time, and just enjoy yourself while you're there. And if you can't play the game, or you want to play the game, just have fun, and, you know, don't take it as serious as me or, you know, any other folks who play this, you know, the same style as me and whatnot. It's just your experience that you want for Battlefield 6, right? So yeah, that's all I want to say, and enjoy Battlefield 6. I'm out. Stop shooting. Dun, 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 dun. That's a nice car. Unlock or something. Unlock. All right.